Hey everybody, it's Patrick. It is Tuesday. Well, it's actually Monday because I am recording this early, which is good for me. Sometimes I record these about 5 minutes before I post them because I am not very organized when it comes to YouTube. It's snowing outside, so I'm home, working from home, and this is my lunch break. And it also means that the light is fantastic. I just open up the windows and all of a sudden the whole house is filled with light, which is not interesting to anybody but myself. But anyway, my last video, my 25-month update, I got a couple of comments, questions, which were interesting to me because they were all about the same thing, so I thought that I would talk about them here. It's my channel, I can do what I want. So I got a comment from somebody, and I'm not going to actually link the comments because I don't want anybody taking anyone to task for it, because it's fine. Someone said, I don't mean to be rude, but the back of your hair is very gray. Which, you know, okay. One thing, just a quick bit of advice. If you start out a sentence with, I don't mean to be rude, you might be rude. I didn't consider it rude, but some people having the gray in their hair pointed out to them, they may be offended by that. So if in the future you may not want to say that to somebody, but my channel's all about hair and everything to do with hair. So the fact that I have gray hair is up for grabs, right? And I do have gray hair. I don't make any mystery out of the fact that I'm 47 years old. I turned 48 this September. I'm very lucky to have hair. A lot of members of my family, a lot of the uncles on both sides of my family have, well, all of the uncles on my mother's side of the family. I don't have any uncles on my father's side of the family because he didn't have any brothers who were old enough to get to the bald area, have gone bald. Like all of the uncles on my mother's side of the family have gone bald. Cousins on both sides of the family have gone bald. So the fact that I have hair is really, that's great. The fact that it's gray hair, my family goes gray very early. And the fact that my hair is still over 50%, over 75%, really still this brown color is quite amazing. I have two brothers, one older, one younger, and my older brother has about the same amount of gray as I do. My younger brother is 44 or 43. Don't kill me if you watch this, Sean. He's completely gray. Like he was blonde to begin with, but it's mostly gone. And it's mostly gray, and he looks fantastic. And the two of us look very much alike. He's better looking, but if I wind up looking like him with his hair, that's awesome. That's great. So my family tends to go gray. I'm old enough to go gray. And in fact, let's talk about gray hair. So in terms of the amount of people who go gray. So when should people expect to go gray? You can go gray at any time in your life. It's part of the natural growth cycle of your hair. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Anybody can go gray. If you have hair, it can go gray. You're more likely to go gray as you age. And a statistic that I read is that 50% of all people who still have hair will go gray by age 50. And that will, not meaning all gray, but you will at least start the graying process by age 50. Some people never go gray. Some people have the same color hair that they had since birth. Some people go gray very early, and I actually have cousins who started going gray in their teenage years, and it actually looks pretty cool. You know, nowadays there are kids who are dyeing their hair gray with that gray lavender stuff, and my cousins who are my age did that in the 70s, so you ain't got nothing on us. But yeah, most people will go gray in their lifetime if they happen to live long enough and if they happen to still have hair. I am Caucasian, I am white, and I am more likely to go gray than people of Asian descent or of black descent. I don't know that I said that wrong, but people who are black or Asian are less likely, statistically, to go gray than people from Northern European countries. Again, I didn't get into the science of it too much, I was just looking up statistics. So why do we go gray? Why does our hair start losing color? Well, actually, your hair doesn't have any color as it grows. Your hair, everybody has white hair. Everybody has colorless hair. It grows out of your follicle that way And there are little color engines in your scalp attached to the follicles, which are called melanocytes. And I probably said that wrong. I'm saying it sort of like Pepperidge Farm Melano cookies. They're not cookies, they're melanocytes, and they actually inject the color into your hair as it grows. And depending on what type of color and how much of it is what happens to make your color. So you have different types of color and different levels of color that give you either, you know, your brown, your black, your blonde, red, whatever colors you have. As your hair grows, part of the cycle of your hair growing is your hair cycle ending. And so losing hair is part of growing hair. And when the hair reaches the end of the cycle, that means that it also damages those melanocytes. So each time your hair reaches the end of a growth cycle, the melanocytes get a little bit more damaged, a little bit more damaged, a little bit more damaged, and eventually they're gone. Science has not come up with a way to reverse this. There are scientists that I read that are working on a way to slow that down. There are some topical things that they are testing right now, as of now. Gracie's making some noises upstairs. There are some topical treatments that are being tested right now, which may slow down the graying process, but so far there's nothing that can reverse it to put those little melanocytes back into your hair and get them working again. When they're gone, they're gone. Can't do anything about it. But it is a natural process, and it actually means something good. It means you're still around, you know, you're still here, still have hair. It's going to stay white. The gray hair is usually because of the fact that you have other hair mixed in with that, which are still colored, which are still being colored by these melanocytes. So depending on what the color of those hairs are, your hair can be salt and pepper looking, or it can be grayer looking, more steel gray, more blue gray. A lot of people look very yellow gray because they have, you know, more of the yellow pigment in their hair as well. So, and there are ways of dealing with that. You know, the reason that if you've ever heard the term blue hair for people who are older, you know, the blue hairs are here. That's because one of the older ways of dealing with gray, getting it to look a little bit less yellow, would be to put blue dye in the hair, and sometimes it would be too much and they would look blue. Anyway, so yeah, so graying is part of the aging process. I also had someone mention that he is in his 20s and he's gray, and should he have long hair? Because, you know, would that mean anything? And quite honestly, I say yes, because I'm over twice your age and I'm growing out my hair. And you know what? I mean, your hair color is your hair color. You can certainly dye it. You can certainly change your color to match your personality, to match what you feel in terms of age. You can do all of that stuff. But what I would say is don't let the fact that you have gray hair, that you have less hair, that you have hair of a texture that you don't like, don't let that stop you from doing what you want with your hair. I think that there are so many pressures on us to look young, whatever that means, to look up to date, you know, whatever that means, like to have the right hairstyle, whatever. And just to follow along with what everybody else is doing. If you're already considering growing your hair, you're already considering, as a man, you're already considering going against the norm. So why would you let having gray hair stop you from growing your hair? And why would I let that happen? Anyway, I hope that you got something out of this. I hope that you learned a little bit. I certainly did while I was looking it up. I hope that if you like your hair color, that your melanocytes keep working as long as they can. But don't blame them if they don't. I'm here every Tuesday talking about hair. On the other days of the week, I talk about other things like self-esteem. My friend George, who is a cat, he talks about good self-esteem. And on Thursdays, we make 3-ingredient recipes. So I hope to see you on the channel. Subscribe if you want to, comment if you want to, like if you want to. I will see you again next time.